It's always the same with the Miami Dolphins: more trade talk, more wild ideas thrown around like it's a game of Madden. This time, ESPN's Bill Barnwell, who loves stirring the pot, is back with 12 trade suggestions that he claims could benefit different teams. And guess what? The Dolphins are in the mix. 2 deals, to be exact, are supposedly in the Dolphins' best interest. But do they really make sense? First off, Barnwell suggests the Dolphins should send a conditional 4th-round pick to the Carolina Panthers for none other than Bryce Young. Yes, you heard that right, Bryce Young, the guy Carolina drafted 1st overall in 2023, and now, barely into his 2nd year, there's talk they've already soured on him as their future quarterback. Imagine that. He's benched, things haven't gone as planned, and now he's trade fodder. It's like Carolina's ready to throw in the towel on the guy. The idea behind this trade is that Young could be a sneaky long-term move for the Dolphins. Sure, Tua Tagovailoa has been performing well, but the risk of injury always lingers. And while the Dolphins currently have backups like Tyler Huntley and Skylar Thompson, Barnwell believes Young would be a serious upgrade over them. Really? Let's think about that for a second. Young, with his limited NFL experience, hasn't exactly lit the world on fire. He struggled, which, granted, could be more about Carolina's dysfunction than him. But would bringing him to Miami guarantee anything better than what Thompson or Huntley could offer? Probably not right away. If anything, this move feels more like an attempt to secure a long-term backup plan in case Tua's injuries come back to haunt the team. And that's where it might hold some weight. It's a gamble, no doubt, a low-risk, high-reward move, as they like to say. But honestly, would Bryce Young really be that much better than Thompson or Huntley in this offense right now? It's hard to see it. Still, if we're thinking long-term, could the Dolphins mold Young into something better down the line? Maybe. But is it really worth giving up a 4th-round pick on a guy who's struggled so much in the early going? That's the question the Dolphins have to ask themselves. Now, let's dive into the second trade suggestion. Barnwell wants the Dolphins to trade running back Jeff Wilson Jr. back to the San Francisco 49ers. In return, Miami would get a 6th-round pick in 2025, and they'd give up a 7th-rounder in the process. Does this make any sense? On the surface, it feels like Miami would be doing the Niners a favor here. Jeff Wilson is a solid, reliable running back, not flashy, but dependable. He's currently buried on the Dolphins' depth chart, with Raheem Mostert and Devon Achane getting the bulk of the carries. And let's not forget rookie Jalen Wright, who's also competing for snaps. So, with all this depth, maybe Miami could part ways with Wilson, right? Not so fast. Wilson's contract isn't exactly a burden. $2.4 million isn't breaking the bank. And with Achane just returning from a concussion and Mostert having missed a few games with a chest injury, depth at running back is critical. What if injuries strike again? Wouldn't it be better to have Wilson around just in case? The Dolphins' run game has been a bright spot this season, and having 4 capable backs isn't a bad problem to have. Trading Wilson for a future 6th-round pick, a pretty meaningless swap when you think about it, just doesn't seem like it brings enough value. What are you really gaining from that trade? It's not like you're moving up in the 1st or 2nd round. We're talking about late-round picks here, which are essentially dart throws. The peace of mind of knowing you have Wilson as insurance for potential injuries far outweighs the minimal return you get from this trade. Plus, running backs in today's NFL tend to get banged up, and having that extra depth could be crucial if the Dolphins want to make a deep playoff run. This team is built to win now, not in 2025, so why even entertain this move? In the end, both trade ideas feel a little off. The Bryce Young move? Maybe if you're playing the long game and don't mind taking a gamble. The Jeff Wilson trade? That just feels like a favor for the 49ers without much upside for Miami. For now, it seems like the Dolphins are better off sticking with what they have and focusing on the present rather than throwing darts at future picks.